Hey YouTube, what's going on? Mark here. Happy Saturday to all and happy Robby Gordon 31st birthday to me, or even Mike Skinner 31st birthday. And happiest of birthdays to my birthday twins, Ty Air. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that your last name, botching your name, buddy. The one who does the NR 2003 videos. Vince Brent, the #1 Kevin Harvick fan of all time, as well as Ty Naughton, #1 Tony Stewart fan of all time. All my NASCAR birthday homies. So therefore, shout out to you guys and shout out to Nathan Chris's wife, London Elise Chris, for making my birthday before it even started. I'll have more on that in a second after I finish this intro. Let me see here. Her friends Taylor Janae and Sarah Meason finally saw my Instagram post of me introducing myself to them in the form of a video 4 months ago on my birthday. So like London said, it was meant to be for them to not see it until my Robby Gordon, Mike Skinner year today. So therefore, what's the whole elephant in the room will be addressed in a little while. I just want to thank you all for all the love and support you showed me on social media for a combined number of years, based on all the different times I joined each platform. I couldn't have done this without you, getting this far, being, to being 31 years old. I spent, time on social media, starting with Facebook in 2009, and then I had to get a new one in 2010 because my original account got sniped during the midsummer 2010, and then I got a new one. I have not looked back since then, and I don't plan to anytime soon. I mean, I have all social media except Twitter. We all know the backstory behind that, which I'm not going to get into, obviously, because, I do not miss that platform one bit. Instagram since New Year's Eve 2013, going into New Year's Day 2014. TikTok since the COVID pandemic, because I was just trying to lose COVID weight. I wasn't expecting to blow the fuck up, 20 fucking times. So therefore, which is why I'm this close to 15K followers. So if I blow up again, it'll be 21 times for Elliott Sadler or Tim Duncan, stuff like that. Let's see here. When did I join YouTube? Okay, I joined here on YouTube, September 5th. 2013, in which, this year will mark Ryan Newman 12 years since I've been on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, we're going to have a great Busch Series race today because it's a Busch Series NAPA 300 race day. And since all the Busch drivers I rooted for all these years since, the late or 2010s, early 2020s, all either moved up to Winston Cup or went to, got demoted to the Craftsman Truck Series or back to ARCA, or even got demoted to completely out of NASCAR. So I'm going to have to look for some new blood to cheer for a while until they're ready to move up to the next level or get demoted back down to the previous level or any other kind of lower forms of racing than the top 3 NASCAR series or other than ARCA, obviously. So, but until I'm ready to find the next batch of new Busch Grand National drivers. So therefore, with the Xfinity names going away after the season, as far as the title sponsor goes, they're staying in NASCAR. Do you think of what I'm thinking? Bring back the NASCAR Busch Series as a sponsor. If Craftsman can return, so can they. In terms of when they came back to sponsor the Truck Series. So therefore, it's my birthday today, so I'm excited for a bunch of NASCAR and a lot of good food. And we were going to have Five Guys for the Busch race tonight, but my mom changed her mind to get something cheaper, way cheaper than Five Guys. And we're going to have a shitload of steaks and Coke tonight. And then we're going to have pizza and cake tomorrow when my wife, Emily, comes over, and maybe our friend Kathy from work. But I know Emily's coming. We're gonna negotiate with that mom so we make sure we're on the same page. But Kathy, I need a final verdict. So Kathy, if you're watching this, I need a final verdict whether or not you'll be able to come tomorrow. So if you don't, then it's no big deal. You can always come over for another race another time. So anyway, let's not waste any more time in here to get to what we're here to talk about. So that truck race last night, man. I just wanted to make this video and get this out of the way before we move on to the Busch Series. We're at NAPA 300 tonight on the CW, where we don't have to deal with the atrocious Fox broadcast, even though we have to deal with annoying ass Adam Alexander twice two networks, CW and TNT, even though that job should belong to Ralph Shaheen. Hashtag Adam Alexander is garbage. But tangents aside, that truck race last night was miles better than the Demo Derby shit show we saw last year of what was supposed to be my birthday walk-off when Christina Moses from A Million Little Things video called me. I'll end that video off as to why I abandoned my plan to sleep in as late as I wanted to before the race started and before making this video at the end of the video. I'll save that for last, but Yeah, it was mostly clean for a truck race, let alone a standards for a truck race at a plate track. You know, there was only very few crashes, and even when they looked like they were big, it wasn't even too many cars like there was in all the other day of Florida Dodge Dealers 250 truck races in years past. I mean, we had the big one on the back straightaway. It wasn't even a big one. It was just a moderate sized big one, and luckily Hemrick made it through that carnage. And turn four was like calamity corner. It was like, are we watching a Gen 4 Winston Cup race at Daytona where a bunch of random people keep sliding off turn four and going into the infield and smacking the wall? And when on the part of the enter of the trial vote that'll take you to the pits. That's what it felt like we were watching. And poor Caden Honeycutt, man, he had a race contending truck, and could have had a shot at winning if that early wreck did not happen while he was leading that big pack. I mean, I know some people didn't like the race because and said it was boring and garbage. And I get that. I understand. I know you're watching plate racing in any series in NASCAR. You're expecting a lot of excitement in terms of the wrecks and the crazy finishes and the surprise winners and underdog stories. I get that. We did get some of that last night, which I'll get into that the second to last thing. But that race taught me last night that even though the Busch Grand National Series and the Craftsman Truck Series are usually where most of the crashes happen, a tiny bit more than Winston Cup, that sometimes NASCAR isn't all about the crashes, because crashes equal entertainment. I mean, sometimes crashes do make a good race, as long as the racing product itself outside the crashes is actually good too. Like the 2022 Coke 600 and the 2022 spring Martinsville Busch race. That was a weekend I was pumping up, and then the Saturday race was good, but then when it was time for the no, it was a Friday race. I'm sorry. It was a Friday night Busch race, which was a good wreck fest, if y'all remember that. And then Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer were beating the shit out of each other in the pits after the race because they got into a pissing match on the track in the last two laps. And then we got so excited for that to the point where we were pumping up the Winston Cup Virginia 500 the next night, thinking we were going to see that same excitement. And did anybody tell 28-year-old me yet how bad the Gen 7 was going to be at short tracks? And it's like we didn't know. It's almost like we didn't know at all. I remember going to Apple. We were staying the night with my dad that weekend. One of the last times I went to his current house. So he came to pick me up, but we're like hours before the race. We settled in at his house, put everything away. Oh my God, I'm going down memory lane here, and I'm supposed to be talking about the fucking truck race. So we went did we go to the house first? I don't even fucking remember, but whatever we did, we went to Applebee's, before the green flag. I think it was close to the green flag, so I'm full of shit. It wasn't hours before the race. It was like right before the green flag. And we were finishing up, dinner, and two random guys who were NASCAR fans were there with a birthday party for these young girls, and I became friends with them. And sadly, it was like a one and done. I never got their full names or social media. So that's what happens when you sometimes meet new friends in public. Sometimes if you don't get their name or their social media or whatnot, you're sadly never going to see them again. So wherever those young girls who are in that birthday party are at, and those two young men who are NASCAR fans, especially JR Motorsports and Noah Gregson, he was there. God bless you all, and I hope you enjoy some good racing this weekend at the World Center of Racing. So we finally made it to his house, put everything away. We turned it on, and the race had just started, but it turned out to be well, I'm not going to get into that tangent. All I'm going to say is when my stepsister came into the room, she sat with me to catch up since we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And we shot the bull with the race on the TV, and she talked amongst herself like it wasn't even there. So that's how bad it was. But anyway, back on track. I'm mutating topics. Like 2022, Busch, Spring, Martinsville, and Coke 600, those are good wreck fest. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was good wreck fest in, the Winston Cup Gen 4 era, and there's too many to count. But as far as, the wreck fest goes in last year's Florida Dodge Dealers 250 or the year before, the Easter Bunny 500 dirt race, we were sick of spring cold, those are wreck fests that are just not even interesting. So sometimes it's not all about the crashes to make a good race, no matter what series it is. So, therefore, kudos for the truck drivers last night for not driving like a bunch of jackasses and keeping it clean for the most part. Only just like 3 or 4 wrecks. I mean, well, Well, depending on how you look at it, there was 3 separate wrecks on the last lap. So therefore, technically it was 6, 7 wrecks, only because, there was 3 to 4 wrecks just like in the majority of the race before the white flag. And I don't know how they made it to the white flag under green. That is astounding. I mean, concerning, what I didn't like, that was a needed caution on the last lap, but there were like 3. If NASCAR had called the caution right away when Bitch Boy Ben Rhodes and whoever that was wrecked with them first, then maybe we could have avoided, a tiny bit of controversy. I mean, that yellow was more justified and it wasn't as egregious as it was what happened, Thursday night at the 125 in race 2 when we were out to my birthday dinner with my girlfriend, dad, and stepmom. But come on now, NASCAR. I mean, I know nobody's really, harping over this, but they could, even if it's minor, they're officiating and, then it can do better than this shit. I mean, it's first Bitch Boy Ben and someone else. I have to throw in the clip here if I remember it. They wrecked first, and then, this day I was kind of happy because I'm glad he, that fake Jeff Burton in the 99 didn't win. And then they were coming through turn 3, they kept the green out, and then a second wreck happened, and then a few feet later, coming into turn 4, after coming between turn 4, in between turns 3 and 4, a third wreck happens, and Hemrick almost got taken out twice. There was like 3 separate wrecks on the last lap, and they waited till the third wreck to throw the fucking caution. I mean, sure, it wasn't as bad as, the Thursday night screw job of Eric Jones, but Parker Kligerman was clear as day in front when that caution came out. So, of course, it was pretty obvious, and Hemrick got an 8th place finish for making it through the carnage unscathed. So, therefore, what was I going to say? Okay, I'm going to double check it after I go over this part. I'm going to have to go over this part. Because there was something I was going to mention last. So, therefore, I'm going to get into the second and last thing I'm going to talk about. Parker Kligerman and how this poor man can't catch a break. Like, my Lord. I thought for sure he was going to get his old, Roval redemption. Considering, Eric Jones got the 2024 Roval treatment for my Welo's death date last year on the night before last night. So he finally got the win that didn't slip through his fingers due to NASCAR and their stupidity and their horrendous officiating we call NASCAR ref ball. And it looked like he won it fair and square and earned it, even as a part-time semi-retired driver, legit straight up on speed, even for a plate track. But then when I was downstairs getting my dinner, 5 minutes before my birthday started at midnight, oh my God, I come back up here with my dinner after reheating it because I got too cold. It was Popeye's chicken we had after the race, which we were going to have during the race, but that race went by so quick because there was not as many cautions or crashes as I expected, which a good thing, but I wish I could eat it during the race. But I come back up to finally eat after making my birthday post when the cockfight stuck midnight. Oh my God, what just happened? I think just happened. The motherfucker got DQ'd and got the win taken away. And so Corey Heim, the second place driver, picked up the victory. And I'm glad Henderson Racing, or whatever the team's called, is appealing this, because Parker straight up earned that. He said it was the biggest win of his life. So that's probably why they're appealing it. And I can't say I blame them at all, one bit. So therefore, I hope they win that appeal. And I swear to God, if we get some BS finish tonight or tomorrow, like we saw Thursday, or if an underdog wins on tomorrow and he gets robbed, I'm literally going to have a full heart attack in front. I don't even give a shit. It's in front of my girlfriend. I will literally have a heart attack and a full-on breakdown if some bullshit happens today or tomorrow. Yeah, so this poor man can't catch a break. I mean, between the Roval screw job and Welo's death day, where we were at Cedar Point, for the season finale there last year, to this, it's like they don't want him to be happy, and they don't want that. The racing guys not only don't want that, but they also don't want us to have nice things, because apparently we can't have nice things in NASCAR, just like we can't have nice things in life in general. So therefore, even don't even get me started with the Spurs. Parker, not staying where it's finally here for the jersey to say, and the Raptors to say 2001 to 19, like Ginobili says 02 to 18, or Duncan 97 to 16, but that's a tangent for another day. I know the video for Spurs when we talk about the Spurs again, but man, Parker, you are the winner in my book. I mean, nothing against Corey Haim, but yeah, but still, that is bullshit. I mean, the whole thing with the 125 on Thursday during my birthday dinner is not hate against Cindric. He did nothing wrong. It's out of his control. It's not his fault. But it's the way NASCAR handled it with their bullshit officiating. Like, why the fuck do you throw the caution when you're 100 yards away from the checkered flag? Like, I could understand it if it's like taking the white flag, like at last year's Daytona 500 with, out of all people, Cindric and Chastain. Or if it's like exit of the trial, though, going into turns 1 and 2, or beginning on the middle of the back straightaway, okay, fine, a yellow is justified. But if it's like at the exit of the back straightaway and just turn 3, going into turn 4, the exit of the tri-oval, end of the tri-oval, coming to the checker flag, and there's a crash. I get it. You're supposed to throw a caution when, to have in terms of a safety standpoint, so avoid anything further happening. And this is like the one of the many downsides of racing back to the yellow, getting eliminated in 2003. Bullshit like this, kind of like how the yellow line rule has created a bunch of bullshit and controversy with Regan Smith being robbed of his first win, should have been his first of 2 Winston Cup wins. Carl Edwards going into the catch fence at the Aaron's 499 the next year, which Regan Smith's crew job was in the EA Sports 500, by the way. And what was another one? Oh yeah, Matt DiBenedetto getting robbed of his first and only Winston Cup win at the 2020 EA Sports 500. I mean, I'm glad we didn't have to deal with that bullshit last night, so let's hope we don't have to deal with that the rest of the weekend. But along with any other bullshit that could potentially happen like Thursday. But but as far as this whole thing goes on from Thursday, if it's in turns 3 and 4, or entering the trial and the record, let the fucking race back. I mean it's more becoming an entertainment standpoint than a safety concern, if anything. But let the finish line determine the winner like it's supposed to, not a stupid caution call like moment of caution. Like, Jesus Christ, NASCAR. It's only week 1, race 0, and we already got stupid BS happening on the track. But yeah, and then Parker Kligerman gets robbed the next night with a DQ. So I'm just hoping we do not have any stupid BS happen tonight in the Busch race or tomorrow in the Daytona 500. Like, dear Lord. I mean, man, I pray to God Parker Kligerman wins that appeal. And if he does, then I guess the NASCAR world is healing a little bit, even though there still needs to be a lot of tweaks to be done to fix it and make it better. And so I don't complain about it, or I don't bitch to bash on the sport. No, I don't hate the sport. I know some people say, I had to spite the heat of the moment when they're like recording content to put on YouTube during the race, when them commentating the races from their point of view. Yeah, I get it. You can hate the sport sometimes. That's actually going to hit the moment. Generally speaking, I do not hate it, despite the fact that I took all but 22 races off of 2023 and came back with a vengeance, which was last year, which is why I've been pumping this shit up this year. I complain about it and bitch about it a lot, not because I hate it, but because I want the sport to succeed and do better, and you'll be as amazing as it once was. Sure, it doesn't have to be 1999 2005 peak levels of great or amazing, but it can get something close to that if they would fix their bullshit. I mean, with their officiating, the consistency of the officiating on the track, off the track, the way the chase is implemented, all this other stuff. I mean, NASCAR, do better. But with the brain dead leadership we have behind the scenes, behind closed doors, I don't see anything changing anytime soon, sadly. And even though that's the case, I'm still going to watch NASCAR no matter how much I complain about it until I drop dead or the sport is dead, whichever comes first. Now, what was that one thing I was going to address last before we wrap up this video and get ready for the Busch race tonight? Okay, so this is unrelated to NASCAR. I had needed time to think, so now I remember. So do you guys remember, I think Nathan Kress from iCarly? Yeah, I think he played Gibby, I believe it was. I think it was Gibby. I'll have to double check or something. So, but yeah, Nathan Kress was on iCarly as a young kid. Wrong show, but, so his wife's best friend, Sarah Meason, has having a baby. I don't know if the baby was already born, but I made them a video congratulating them and introducing myself as a Nickelodeon superfan, as well as, introducing getting my name out there, my likeness out there to, Nathan and his wife, London Elise. And it took them up till today to see it. Like last night, I think Taylor saw it first. before I went to bed. And well, you know, I got her friendship. So therefore, and then when I woke up, when I had to help my mom bring in the groceries, and so originally it was just a temporary abandonment of my sleep, because I was originally going to sleep in until like shortly before the Busch race, but it's a blessing in disguise because I had more time to make this video than I would have had. I had the original plans, you know, not gone out the window for good measure, because this is the second year in a row something like this has happened. As we all know what happened last year, you know, Christina Moses from Million Little Things video calling me. And so if I can need it for my birthday, which made me want to get up before the truck race, like abandoned my sleep earlier than planned. But anyway, it's a story for another day. So today, I think Sarah finally saw it after I woke up. Like, I was all still asleep when she finally saw it and commented and liked it. So shout out to all you folks involved, you know, Nathan, London, Sarah, Taylor. I mean, all you three ladies, and of course one gentleman. I mean, you guys are amazing people. And then, you know, after I got done my helping my mom with the groceries, which were good birthday groceries, I was going to go back to sleep till 3:15, but I was too distracted on the phone. And then when I was almost done doing what I was doing, I was going to put the phone down, lay back down and go back to sleep. But then Nathan Kress's wife finally saw it, live post, you know, and commented and liked. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting up early. So if you wanted to go back to sleep after getting temporarily woken up from your original plan sleeping, and then before you had a chance to go back to sleep until it was originally where it was going to be until when you feel like it was time to get up for yourself. And if a famous person from your favorite show, or they're like the family member or their friend or their friends, or in this case both, you know, saw your post of introducing yourself or supporting them months later, after the time you originally made it, and they liked and commented on it, and then lucky, if you're lucky enough, followed you, want to make you abandon your original sleep schedule and get up earlier than planned, it sure as hell would for me. I mean, I've been lucky enough to have similar circumstances like that happen to me 2 years in a row. So thank you, London. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sarah. And if you see it, I happen to see the post, Nathan. What the hell? I apologize for that, folks. It was a fucking coke avalanche in my goddamn closet. Anyway, let's finish this video. So, Nathan, I know you probably haven't seen it yet because you're the only dude involved in this. If you happen to see it eventually in the future and like and comment on it, thank you for being a G and acknowledging my existence and, you know, my support as a fan of Nickelodeon and Victorious and even a little bit of iCarly, but I gotta fucking go, man. I gotta fucking celebrate with the good racing, good food, and I will see you all later on tonight for the Busch Series NAPA 300, you know, race review. So happy birthday to me, and let's go racing, boys. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Mike Skinner, Robby Gordon, 31 years old, for me.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.